បាទស្វាគមន៍មកកាន់ Channel Ekroo ដែលថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំលើកយកសំណេរភាសាអង់គ្លេសមួយដែលមានចំណងជើងថាការចូលទស្សនាបណ្ណាល័យជាតិភាសាអង់គ្លេស visiting to National Library អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ដើម Recently I and my elder brother went to have a book at our National Library. We visited the place in the hour of the morning, and so it was crowded with school children. It was a Saturday morning. The library is situated in front of the NIM, National Institute of Management University, and near the Royal Hotel in Phnom Penh. There are hundreds of thousands books in the library, including valuable reference of books for university students. Almost all secondary school students are members of the library, and they are allowed to borrow 2 books at a time. This being my best to the place, everything books strange and interesting. I saw boys and girls reading or returning books. I saw a dozen of boys and girls reading or study their lessons in quiet corner. ទី4ច្រត់ពេលនង្គ័លអូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ដើមអាន The Royal Plowing Ceremony is generally held in May every year, and it starts the planting season. It is performed by a man, king of Mia, who leads the yoke and plow, and a woman, Queen Meaower, who sows the seeds. Trays with rye, corns, and other foods are laid out for the sacred cows. It is based on their choice. Predictions are made for the coming years. According to the old people said from mouth to mouth that if the sacred cows is the rye, it means that this year in our country will have plenty of rye and all the people live happily with their rye. សកម្មភាពប្រចាំថ្ងៃរបស់ខ្ញុំពីព្រលឹមទល់រលប់អូខេតែភាសាអង់គ្លេស My everyday activity from morning to evening អូខេចឹងចាប់ដើម In the morning I get up at 5:30 and then I go to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. After bathroom, I prepare something to school. I leave home at 6:15 and I arrive at school at 6:30. So it takes 15 minutes to arrive at school, and then at 45:06 I get the flag raising. In the morning, my school starts at 7 o'clock and finishes at 11 o'clock. I have lunch mostly at 11:45, but sometimes 12 o'clock. After lunch, I have a little bit relax. In the afternoon, the school starts again at 2 o'clock and finishes at 5 o'clock. But only 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. From 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, I study English at private school. And about the dinner time, I usually have dinner at 7:30. And after dinner, I like watching TV and reading, and then I go to bed at 9:45 or 10 o'clock. My everyday activity is all. មិត្តខ្ញុំជាសិស្សពូកែម្នាក់ My friend is a clever student. Ok, lại chập đàm. In my classroom, there are many students, but the best one is my friend. He is 15 years old. In the class, he likes studying every subject. He is gentle, honest, and more clever than all. He has done a lot of homework. In his free time, he has to teach some students who don't understand. He is a good person who I like because he always helps me when I don't know anything. I want to do the best as the same him as well. ការរស់នៅរបស់ខ្ញុំនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា I living in Cambodia. Okay, ឥឡូវចាប់ផ្ដើមអាន I was born in 2000 in Siem Reap province. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. My father is working in the Ministry of Education and my mother is a housewife. I went to school when I was 6 years old. I was a student in secondary school for 3 years. On holiday, I like going to the rice field to have my Angkor and aunt to plant vegetables. And I like fishing. I go to study every subject at school, but prefer English language so much because I want to be an interpreter as a tour guide. កន្លែងជាទីពេញចិត្តខ្ញុំគឺអង្គរវត្ត ភាសាអង់គ្លេស My favorite place is Angkor Wat. Okay, ឥឡូវចាប់ដើមអាន There are some ancient temples at the forest in Cambodia, but the temple my favorite is Angkor Wat. So we will visit it there next month by bus. We will stay in Siem Reap and then visit Angkor Wat. I look around somewhere are beautiful and take the view in the photos. I believe in visiting Angkor Wat. There are a lot of people visiting too. Some visitors are like to go there. If you are going to visit Angkor Wat, you will really enjoy very much at there. ហើយកំសាន្តនៅកំពង់សោម ភាសាអង់គ្លេស visiting កំពង់សោម On Sunday in May last month, I went to visit Kampong Som with my parents. I went there by car. I saw a lot of ships, boats, fishermen on the sea. When I swam in the sea with my family, I took some photographs and then ate lunch with my family at the food store near the seaside. Did you go to Kampong Som? When I visit this place, I become very happy. Do you want to go? ភាពតាមដងទន្លេសាបដ៏អស្ចារ្យ ភាសាអង់គ្លេស Wonderful views on the ទន្លេសាប The ទន្លេសាប is one of the biggest rivers in Cambodia. It is a freshwater resource for fishing. When we look at the boat trip on the Tonle Sap, we saw wonderful views on the both sides of the Tonle. The landscape along the riverbank was green because of the trees that were hiding the fish village and the field that lead to the jungle. The fishermen were fishing many ways
at the river. Tonle Sap is many easy way to travel to Siem Reap too. Near some of the river banks, farmers work in their fields. So I like the river from along the Tonle Sap, and I will want to visit it again and again.
តងជាមួយនឹងសត្វដំរីភាសាអង់គ្លេស the elephant Elephant is quite strong as well as the largest of all animals. It has 4 legs which resemble large pillars. It has 2 ears which are like big fans. Elephants have a special body part which is their trunk. In addition, it has a short tail. The male elephant has 2 teeth which are quite long and are referred to as tusks. Elephants are herbivorous and feed on leaves, plants, grains, fruits, and more. They are mostly found in Africa and Asia. Most of the elephants are gray in color. However, in Thailand, they have white elephants. In addition, elephants are one of the longest lived animals with an advantage lifespan of around 5 to 70 years. But the oldest elephant to ever live passed away at the age of 86 years. Furthermore, they mostly inhabit jungles, but humans have forced them to work in zoos and circus. Elephants are considered to be one of the most intelligent animals. Similarly, they are quite obedient too. Usually, the female elephants live in groups, but the male ones prefer solitary living. Additionally, this wild animal has great learning capacity. Humans use them for transport and entertainment purposes. Elephants are of great importance to the earth and mankind. Thus, we must protect them to not create an imbalance in nature's cycle. ទំនាយរបស់ខ្ញុំ In my free time. Let's start. I will never waste my free time. I usually do something interesting. I like reading the story in English and writing the letters to my friends abroad. In my brain, I feel that the best lecturer is books. Thus, what I read books, I know a lot of information and learn new ideas. And then I practice them in my real life. Besides reading books, I love go sightseeing in order to make my life frustrated. Particularly, I can learn how people live in their lives outdoors and indoors. So, I will get a good experiment for my body in the society. See Satko, the cow. Okay, ចាប់តាម The cow is a very useful animal. It has 4 legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 horns, one mouth, one big nose, long face and long tail. Cow has no teeth in the upper jaw. Cow is very meek and gentle. Cow lives mainly on grass. In India, it is looked as a sacred creature and worshipped. Cow gives us milk. Farms an important part of our food. Cow's milk is the only food for children who are not breastfed, and to them cow is a second mother. Cow deserves our gratitude and kind treatment. ភ្លៀងមួយភាសាអង់គ្លេស a rainy day. ឥឡូវយើងចាប់ដើមអាន It was the first May. Nobody had expected it is to be a wet day. When I woke, it was so dark that I thought the night had not yet passed. In the meanwhile, I heard the clock strike 7. I soon got up. No sooner did I come out than it began to rain hard. The pour continuously for 4 hours so that the streets were flooded. For the past fortnight, it had been intolerably. For the past fortnight, it had been intolerably hot. So the rain was a blessing to us, who should not welcome a rainy day in the midst of scorching. ទន្លេសាបដ៏អស្ចារ្យតែភាសាអង់គ្លេស The Wonderful ទន្លេសាបគេចាប់ដើម ទន្លេសាប is one of our biggest river. There is also the ទន្លេសាប Lake. It is one of our most important resources because there are a lot of fish in it. It lies to the north of Phnom Penh, and the fishermen with their fishing nets are near the banks of the lake. When there is a lot of rain, the lake is very deep and the water flows from south to north. But in the dry season, the water flows from north to south and the lake becomes shallow. Then it is easier to fishing. I think that the Tonle Sap's landscape is real beautiful. ទន្លេមេគង្គភាសាអង់គ្លេស The Mekong River. អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ដើម The Mekong River is in two parts, the upper Mekong and the lower Mekong. The upper Mekong flows north from Phnom Penh. It flows through Kampong Cham, Krao Tiet and Stung Treng and then into Laos. The lower Mekong flows south from Phnom Penh into Vietnam. Phnom Penh therefore lies in the middle between the upper and lower Mekong. The Mekong is used for travel and for fishing. People travel up and down the Mekong by boat. It is an easy way to travel. Near the river banks, farms work in the fields. The fields have rich soil which comes from the river's flood water. The flood water also goes into the Tonle Sap, which makes it flow north into Tonle Sap Lake. ពិធីជប់លៀងនៅក្នុងថ្នាក់ភាសាអង់គ្លេស The party in the class. អូខេចាប់ដើម
The schools in Cambodia will reopen in October and it has vacation in July. All the students always have a party at the end of the year. Every year I always join all the party with my classmates. In the early morning, we have each other to make a meal. We often cook chicken, curry, roast beef with bread, beer wine, and we also choose a good tape recorder with the practice cassettes. We finish everything at 11 o'clock and we make the tables in the class. We prepare plates, bowls, spoons, chopsticks, and dishes on the tables already. And then we invite all the teachers to join with us happily. គ្រួសាររបស់ខ្ញុំ My family. ចាប់ដើម Hello everyone, my name is Woody. I'm 13 years old. Now I live with my parents in Penh province. There are 5 people in my family. There are my father, my mother, one brother, one sister, and me. I am a youngest in my siblings. My father name is Tola. He is a farmer and he is 45 years old. My mother name is Janta. She's a housewife and she's 40 years old. My brother name is Samnang. He is a police officer and he is 22 years old. And the last one is my sister. Her name is Ria. She is an accountant and she is 19 years old. Oh, I forgot one. It is my dog. Its name is Pao Pao and it is 1 year old. ការបោះឆ្នោត ភាសាអង់គ្លេស election គេចាប់ដើម Elections are very important events that happen in many countries in the world. An election is very important political process which allows people to choose a reliable leader to run their countries. Before a general election, people set up different political parties. The political parties are groups of people with members with the same political ideas. Politicians are the people who lead the parties. Each political party has its own name. It also has its own ideas and intentions for helping the country. When there is a general election, the politicians explain these ideas and intentions to the people. And if they talk well, they may win the election. But not all countries run elections in the same way. The political party that gets the most votes in an election set up a new government. The parties that lost become the opposite. Although elections allow people to decide their leaders, they can also cause problems. In some countries, political arguments between parties cause loss of life. មជ្ឈមណ្ឌលសុខភាព ភាសាអង់គ្លេស The Health Center Ok, ចាប់ដើម The សំរងលើ Health Center was well organized with a private room for consultations which had a door that closed. It also had a lot of information, magazines, and books for people to read, and had pictures on the wall which make it an inviting and pleasant atmosphere for people. Sometimes health staff are involved with schools, youth centers, or pagodas. This can allow them to have sexual and reproductive health education sessions at times and places where many adolescents gather. Most people and adolescents want to be able to find material and information that answer their question. Health centers should provide material in the form of leaflets, posters, and handouts. Often adolescents want to take this home with them, and this should be encouraged, as they may discuss the information with their friends, thereby spreading important messages. សារៈសំខាន់នៃបរិស្ថាន ភាសាអង់គ្លេស Importance of environment. អូខេ ចាប់ដើម The environment is the world around us. It is where we live, work, eat, and sleep. Environment is the most important thing for our life. If we don't look after environment, it will be dangerous for our life. For example, if we cut down the trees, there will be many droughts, storms, famines, floods, and more importantly, the weather will be hotter and hotter. If we build big factories, they will send the smoke into the air, so the air will be polluted. They will also produce waste going into rivers and ponds. Both people and fish will suffer. If we want to stay healthy and prevent disease, we must think of environment as ours and look after it. In my conclusion, I think after people must be caring the environment by planting more trees than cutting down in order to keep the atmosphere cleaner for our breathing. សារៈសំខាន់នៃព្រៃឈើ ភាសាអង់គ្លេស Importance of forest. អូខេ ចាប់ដើម Cambodia is one of countries which are in tropical area in the Southeast Asia. This geographical feature is good for all kinds of trees to grow. Forests are important for people and animals' lives. Therefore, what are the importance of forests? For one important is that forests are oxygen producer that makes the atmosphere clean, and it is comfortable for people to breathe. Another thing, forests can stop increasing the height of the earth. On the other hand, they attract a lot of rain and keep land fertile, which are important for people to plant rice and other crops to support their lives. If we cut down a lot of forests, there will be a lot of natural disasters like storms, droughts, floods, which can damage people and governments' properties, such as crops, roads, bridges, homes, and the people will be poorer and poorer. Moreover, forests create wonderful view for tourists. The most important point is that forests are used for buildings and making luxurious furniture, and they are the homes all kinds of animals. All in all, forests are the most important thing for our lives, so we have to prevent and plant more.
គុណសម្បត្តិនៃការពាក់មួកសុវត្ថិភាពភាសាអង់គ្លេស Advantage of wearing helmet. Traffic problem is one of the most interesting focus of all social problem. Nowadays, because of pollution, growth, and modern transportation make our country quite dangerous in traveling by which car, especially when careless driving appear. So, in order to help protect our life, we must be aware of traffic laws and wear helmet. Wearing helmet can really protect the top part of our body when we encounter a traffic accident by falling upside down to the sides or on our back. In addition, it keeps the dust and sunlight from directly entering our mouth, nose, eyes, our skin, and we won't be fined by the laws. Totally, wearing helmet keeps us safe in driving. So I appeal all motorcyclists have to wear helmet.
វាអ្វីបច្ចុប្បន្នភាសាអង់គ្លេស Today's teenagers. Teenagers find many ways in making their parents crazy. Teens are one of the stakes that our parents discover many difficulties in giving advice them. In this state, they always try to find something new for themselves. They never care what their parents are worrying about them as well. What are the problems that our parents have been faced with their children at this stage? First, they dye or highlight their hair with many colors, or sometimes they may shave their heads bald or tattoo their skin, or wear rings in their nose. Second, they spend hours at the shopping mall and talking on the phone with their friends. They have time to watch TV, but they don't have time to do their homework. Finally, the worst thing is that some teens are dropping out of school, using drugs, or even committing crime such as pickpocket, rob, and rape. ចរាចរណ៍នៅក្រុងភ្នំពេញភាសាអង់គ្លេស Traffic in Phnom Penh. The roads of Phnom Penh are sometimes very busy with lots of traffic. Many people drive on them every day. There are lots of cycles, cars, and trucks full of passengers.
People can also come to Phnom Penh by train, but trains aren't always safe. Buses are safer than trains, but cars are the safest. Cycles are much slower than buses, and they are more expensive, but people don't use buses in Phnom Penh. Some of the roads in Phnom Penh are good, but some are getting old now. People don't like to drive on the oldest roads. They want to repair them. People also want more traffic lights. With traffic lights, the roads are much safer. ប្រលានយន្តហោះភាសាអង់គ្លេស The airports. Airports are important international transport centers. They also important for travel between cities inside a country. They are usually very clean and tidy place because people aren't allowed to drop any litter or make a mess there. Even if someone leaves a suitcase on the ground and walk away, it will be removed because of the need for security. Airports are divided into two main parts. One part is outside. This is the very large area where planes land, take off, move around and park. The other main part of an airport is inside and is divided into various sections. For example, there are the check-in desk, the migration section, the custom section, and departure and arrival areas. If there is enough space, restaurants and spots will also be provided. This part of an airport is usually full of people. Most of them are either people who work there or passengers. The passengers may be businessmen, businesswomen or tourists. នេសាទនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាភាសាអង់គ្លេស Fishing in Cambodia. Cambodia has many naturally occurring lakes as well as rivers. They are good place for many sort of fish. People in Cambodia can fish both in saltwater and freshwater and at all times, both in the wet season and the dry season. In the wet season, however, fishermen catch fewer fish than in the dry season. In the wet season, rainwater floods the center of the country, particularly around the Great Lake. The plants around the edge of the lake are covered by water, which can be quite deep in place. At this time, all sorts of fish to grow quickly because they can feed on the various plants and insects in the water. In October, the dry season starts and the water level falls. This is the best time for fishing. These fishermen use all kinds of tools to catch their fish. Fishing nets, fishing traps, and instruments made from bamboo are the sort of tools they can use. The main areas where people catch fish are the Great Lake and the Tonle Sap River. Cambodia is famous for its freshwater fishing and every year export fish for other countries. ឆ្នាំដ៏លំបាក difficult years. អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមអាន My father grew up during a difficult time in US history called the Depression. It occurred after the crash of the stock market in 1929, when my father was 10 years old. Many people lost their businesses and their money, and my father's family was no different. The restaurant that the owner closed because no one could afford to eat out. They had very little money, and my father often had little or nothing to eat during the day. Some millionaires killed themselves because they lost all their money. He had one pair of shoes which he gotten from his father. He wore the shoes for many years, put cardboard or newspaper in the sole when they got holes in them. Okay, ឥឡូវយើងតទៀត During his of economic hardship, like many people, my parents lost their home too. They had lived in a 2-room apartment with his aunt and uncle, include their 3 kids. All in all, the Depression years were hard for most people, including my father. មិត្តល្អចេះជួយគ្នានៅគ្រាលំបាកដែលភាសាអង់គ្លេស A friend in it is the friend in it. អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមអាន It just means that we shall know our real friends when we are in it. Those who desert us when we are in difficulties are just unfaithful friends. A true friend would remain with us whether we are rich or poor. Some people befriend the rich simply for the sake of getting benefits from them. It is useless to have insincere friends. We may have hundreds of such friends, but these friends shall remain with us as long as we are rich or powerful. It is better to have 1 or 2 good friends rather than having hundreds of insincere ones. In short, a true friend will stand by us in our trials or tribulations. Us to find a sincere, he will be the greatest source of consolation and comfort our adversities. So we must be careful in choosing our friends. It is difficult to choose a sincere friend overnight, as it takes years for friends ហារនិងភេសជ្ជៈប្រចាំថ្ងៃរបស់ខ្ញុំតែភាសាអង់គ្លេស my daily food and drink អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមអាន I would like to talk about my personal eating habits. I am a student and I like eating delicious food. Mainly, the breakfast is my favorite part of the day. In general, I eat my breakfast alone. I prefer to cornflakes with meal, fresh bread roll with butter and ham and white porridge with fried fish. I adore scrambled eggs. I like drinking tea, chocolate milk, and iced tea. The second part of the day is lunch. It is the main meal of the day. Usually, I eat my lunch at 11:30 a.m. I and my family prefer to shop every day. I can't imagine my life with this hot dish. After the soup, there is the main course. My fancy meal is chicken. Sweet dishes are very popular at my place. At the same time, I consume fresh salad too. Okay, ឥឡូវចាប់ផ្ដើមតទៀត Next to last part of the day is the afternoon tea. In such case, I eat bread with butter, cheese, salami, or pork. And I really love eating Khmer foods such as prahok, a strong fermented fish paste used in a variety of traditional dishes, and Somlo Coco is one of Cambodian national dishes. The last part of the day is the dinner. It is between 18 and 19 o'clock. Sometimes my mother and me eat together. This meal should be light, but sometimes it is not achievable because we don't have fancy to cook other hot meal in the evening. Because we are tired. We were in a hurry all the day. My view is that people could be more healthy with a little bit willpower. But my mind is lazy and people have become couch potatoes. សារៈសំខាន់នៃទឹកដែលភាសាអង់គ្លេស The importance of water. Okay, ឥឡូវយើងចាប់ផ្ដើម Water killed thousands of people and destroys a lot of agriculture crops every year. But water also gives life to all living things in the world. Without water, life is unthinkable. We must have water to grow our food, feed the birds and animals in our homes, grow forests and produce electricity. We use waterways to carry our goods of trade. Even the human body, which is 70 pence out of 100. Water itself cannot exist for long without water. Even since the earth began, large quantities of water have been used by living things. But for every drop of water that is taken from one place, another drop is put back somewhere else. Nature is a very clever way of carrying water from the cloud to land and sea and back to the cloud. No water has ever been lost. But nature does not put water and when we need it. While some men are drowning, others is another part of the world are drying off shirts. Thus, people all over the world is trying to bring water to places where it is scarce to control its flow in times of floods and to make greater use of it. ផលប្រយោជន៍នៃដើមត្នោតដែលភាសាអង់គ្លេស usefulness of palm tree អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមអាន We have a lot of natural riches in Cambodia. About all the palm trees grew up in the central low-lying land. They are high, like black. Their midribs have short, forked green leaves. The palm trees have plenty of advantages such as their trunks are used for constructions and furniture, including homes, schools, bridges, tables, desks, bookcases, chairs, beds, boats, orchids, pixies, barns, cow tables, hand loaf, pigeon loaf, and firewood. Whereas the roots are used for some accident remedies, such as hammer hoe, whereas the leaves are used for material objects. They include heads, mats, baskets, making the cakes, seeds of palm leaf for roofing, such as cortex, pixies, hand loaf, cow tables, barns, especially house and their twigs are used for to tie, such as sheets of palm leaves, cakes. Whereas the midribs are used for hex wall of hand loaf to make cow ropes, to make small flat baskets, to make hammocks, to make sweeps, make cow shovels, to hem or wave cow ropes. Whereas male and female palm flowers are used for production and refining sugar, palm juice to make drink, palm sugar. Besides this, palm juice can refine all products as a palm sugar, palm wine, vinegar. On the other hand, male palm flower can make accident remedies. As for raw palm fruit, can cook the soup, eat section of palm fruit, peel section of palm fruit to make the dessert. Sometimes people cut them for cows. When the palm fruit are ripe, they can make cake or jelly. They are delicious, I like. Whereas palm seeds can make on the big hillocks gardens. We can choose them to make buds in palm shells to eat. As for palm seedlings, can pull to bull them eating. Whereas young green buds of palm trees can eat or cook the meal. The palm trees are important for people and animals. Furthermore, they are fresh green beauty in our environment in Cambodia, so that We all must take care of and know their advantage forever គុណសម្បត្តិនៃការពាក់មួកសុវត្ថិភាពណាភាសាអង់គ្លេស advantage of wearing helmet អូខេឥឡូវយើងចាប់ដើមអានទាំងអស់គ្នា Traffic accident is the most concerning problem we are facing today. The figure of accidents has become increasing and most of people are injured and die from today. To solve this problem, government of Cambodia, especially the capital of Phnom Penh, has been introduced all Khmer people to wear helmet. In my opinion, wearing helmet provides us next wearing helmet help you to apply your duty as a real citizen. Wearing helmet is the law. Someone who broke it would be the police. People who wears helmet will become the responsible person because they obey traffic law and traffic lights. Finally, wearing helmet helps you to protect your life while you are controlling your vehicle on the road. You would avoid problems, especially accidents. By wearing helmet, your head from danger. Head is the most important part of everyone. If our head problem, we can't do anything or sometimes to do abnormal or crazy or even death. All in all, wearing helmet is very useful for us, especially our life protected. We can't buy our lives, but we can prevent it by wearing helmet, as Khmer proverb says. Prevention is better than cure. Together, wear helmet. I believe that country will be in safety, peace development. Phnom Penh City, ទីក្រុងភ្នំពេញ Phnom Penh first grew up during the late 14th century as the function of the Mekong, ទន្លេសាប and Basak rivers in southern part of the country. In 1443, it replaced Angkor as the capital of Cambodia, as well as the center for transport by air, river, and road. Phnom Penh is the commercial center. Products of the include clothes, food, drinks, and tobacco. In addition, the three rivers generate good soil for farming. At the center of the city, at the junction of Norodom Boulevard and Sihanouk Boulevard, stands the independent movement. It was built as a national symbol when Cambodia gained its freedom in 1953. During 1960, many buildings were built in Phnom Penh, including major construction like the Olympic Stadium at one of Sihanouk Boulevard to the west and Sihanouk City at the other end of Sihanouk Boulevard to the east during the 1920s. However, Phnom Penh was bandaged by war. Many books have been published that describe how in 1925 almost all of the city's population was forced to leave and go and work in the countryside. During the 1980s, people moved back into the city and some of its social and educational institutions were reopened. Nowadays, Phnom Penh is the most modern, interesting, beautiful capital city. There are a lot of new buildings. The new National Assembly building in Phnom Penh, located next the Naga Casino, it was constructed at a cost of $26.7 million. The new building has 300 rooms and a main assembly hall capable of seating 212 parliamentarians. His Majesty King Norodom Sihanouk opens the ceremony for the inauguration of the new National Assembly. Finally, I would love to say again and again that Phnom Penh is the best place I like the most. Traffic accident issue បញ្ហាគ្រោះថ្នាក់ចរាចរណ៍ អូខេចាប់ដើម That is major cause of decreasing the number of the population in the world. That caused by old age, illness, mines, war and road accident. In Cambodia, road accidents involve three causes, such as the lack of traffic law enforcement. The first cause of road accidents is the lack of understanding the traffic laws. As we can see, the traffic laws require people to have driving license. And if we want to get license, we have to study traffic laws also. However, the situation is different from that in the past. People do not know about traffic laws even though they have license. This is because those people just do not spend time to learn. They go straight to buy the driving license. Also, people always are careless because of their poor understanding. They usually confuse the traffic signs where not to turn left. Moreover, the traffic laws state that people who drink cannot drive. Opposite, people still do that. They do not think of the accident when they lost consciousness. Another cause of road accident is the increasing number of which cars on the narrow road. In the past, there were few families own which cars, but nowadays there are more than 300,000 motorized which cars in Cambodia, about all in Phnom Penh city. This remarkable increase lead to the road accident. As more and more motor which cars on the road, more and more accidents will happen. The first cause is the lack of law enforcement. Even in Cambodia, we have laws to punish the one who disobey the traffic laws. It is not effective. The law is not strict enough and is not practiced fully. For example, the traffic law say that people must not drive speed 50 km per 1 hour. Nevertheless, when we commit it, there will not be punishment. Thus, more and more people drive very fast and this causes accidents. In some traffic accident issue remarkably caused by drivers themselves who are poor understanding of traffic laws.
Do not give an excuse each other. The increased number of wage costs and non-strict laws, there is no morality in driving. Do not completely check the wage call out before driving. Traffic accident issue will get on to exist more and more according to condition of our society. Traffic accident will occur when the wage call are driven by people who do not understand the traffic laws. In solving the problem, the government should understand the cause of traffic accident issue and try to provide the great awareness of traffic regulation and rule the young generation, and also try to do better of road construction or spreading the roadside, particularly in the town or cities. The misunderstanding of traffic laws or do not respect it is not only make the drivers waste their own life in the traffic accident, but also the other life and families. សារៈសំខាន់នៃ Internet តែភាសាអង់គ្លេស The importance of Internet. The Internet is a global computer or smartphone network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected networks using standardized communication protocols. It has had an enormous impact on education, streamlining access to information and making it easier for individuals to engage in online learning. Distance education programs can make it easier for students from a variety of backgrounds to attend classes remotely, cutting down the need for travel and reducing the resources required for education. The Internet can also access to information and communication far easier. Rather than searching the library, users can access vast amount of information from home computers. Internet access has a hard impact on businesses, allow employees to work remotely from home and communicate more effectively. It can apply the job to everywhere that you live, and it can listen music and watch video online. Especially, it can call and text to family that live far away each other. ការផ្សាយពាណិជ្ជកម្មហើយភាសាអង់គ្លេស advertisement អូខេយើងចាប់ដើម Business in Cambodia is very competitive nowadays. If a business wants to succeed, and therefore it must be advertised through the media, in the newspapers or on the radio or television. Advertisement can be used to advertise businesses, products, jobs, and courses, as well as provide information about subjects like health and the environment. If we want to sell our good, the first purpose of our advertisement must be to tell consumer about them. People will only want products if they know about them. Once people are interested, however, they may want to know more information. If they do, then our advertisement must try to satisfy this need and provide it. But how should we select the information?
If the first purpose of our advertisement is to provide information about our goods, the second purpose must be to sell them and make a good profit. These two purposes, however, are related because we can use the information about our goods to persuade customers to buy them and so create an demand. The information then should be selected for this purpose. If we select information in order to sell as many products as possible, we will only select those aspects that are attractive. Some of them may be fact, but naturally others will be opinion. Although people can find out if a fact is true or false, opinions cannot be examined in this way. If we want to sell as many goods possible, therefore our advertisement must persuade consumers that opinion in facts. If we are successful, they will then believe that our advertisement is not only responsible but true. Hopefully, they will then want to buy our goods. Thank you for watching.